Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Eric Johnson. I want to talk about early sobriety, and I have the 10 best tips on how to achieve lasting sobriety once and for all. I've had hundreds of relapses over the years, but I finally have 13 years of sobriety, so I know what works. Stay till the very end because we're going to count down from 10 to 1 the best tips to stay sober. So number 10 is you're going to have to remove people from your life. Now, if you've been drinking for a while, most of your friends are probably drinking with you. They're enabling you to drink, or they're just bad influences. So when I got sober, I had to remove everyone pretty much because I had been a heavy drinker for 16 years. I drank for 20 years, but 16 of those were blacking out every single night. And so my friends at the end of my drinking were all drinking buddies. And to be honest, I didn't have any friends left. The only person that drank with me was a homeless guy who lived in a camp next door. They called him Animal. He had greasy long hair and he grunted, literally. And he was the only one that could drink like me. He was the only one that lived for alcohol just like me. And so he was easy to remove, because he could barely walk, and I didn't go over to his camp anymore. So he was out, but I had to get rid of a lot of other friends over the years because they just, even if they pretended to support me in sobriety, they're always just lingering around the outskirts, waiting for me to drink again. And if I didn't drink, they would start to get lonely because misery loves company. And they would always be like, are you going to drink? Do you think you're going to drink again? Or you want to have just a beer, so they're going to be very sneaky. So you just have to get away from everyone that you drank with or even knows that you drank. Just cut them completely off. I know it hurts, but you have to do this because this is life or death. Number 9, you have to remove all the places that remind you of drinking. You wouldn't believe how many places reminded me of alcohol, or I drank in those places. There was hundreds of places that I drank. They all had memories of alcohol, and you just have to basically find new places. For me, I just stayed home. That was the safest place for me in early sobriety because I lived in a small town and every single place reminded me of alcohol. So the other thing I did in 2 years in sobriety was I moved away from that small town eventually. So you really have to uproot and start looking for a new place. Or if you live in a big city, maybe move to the other side of town, but you have to start over completely. Number 8 is you have to remove things that remind you of drinking. These are usually rituals. It could be music even. I listened to heavy metal and hard rock when I was a drinker, and when I quit drinking, I switched to electronica and trance music, deep drone music, which is really soothing in the background. I listened to jazz. Not the alcoholic jazz, not the seedy jazz, but more like, soft jazz. So you really have to look at your rituals and you just have to switch it up. You have to break the wiring in your brain that, wires you a certain way and makes you do things a certain way throughout your day. All the rituals you have to basically destroy and start over and rewire your brain. So you have to rewire your brain by getting rid of the rituals, people, places, and things. They say that all the time in 12-step meetings. You have to change people, places, and things. And that's just the way it is. Number 7, you have to change your diet because alcohol is so unhealthy. It's a poison basically, and it's made up of mostly sugar, and you might have a lot of fat from drinking beer. I mean, I was 215 pounds with a huge beer belly, even though I stopped eating food. I was literally starving to death, but I was gaining all this weight with just beer. So you have to change your diet. And when you change your diet and you switch to high quality proteins and vegetables and organic vegetables and stuff like that, it's going to change your mind as well. Because if you wake up and you just have a pop and you have a Pop Tart, you're going to spike your blood glucose levels, your sugar levels are going to go through the roof, and then you're going to crash, and you're going to be irritable, you're going to be upset, you're going to not have any sustained energy, and that's going to want you to drink. So you have to get away from the crappy food. You got to switch to organic, high quality protein, high quality carbs. Get away from sugar completely. It's just very dangerous. Okay. Number 6, you have to remove other stimulants in your life. So I see a lot of people, when I used to go to AA, I used to see so many people just hitting the coffee so hard and chain smoking. They're basically, they're not really sober because they're still hitting these other drugs, caffeine, sugar, tobacco. These are very, very powerful drugs, but we play it like they're not in mainstream, but they are. So I did smoke cigarettes for the first 2 years of my sobriety. It was a crutch. It helped me get off. It helped me stop thinking about alcohol, but eventually I got rid of the cigarettes, and peanut M&Ms were my favorite treat as far as early sobriety, but then I eventually switched to stevia, and I'll get to that in a minute. But you have to remove all stimulants from your life. You can switch to healthier stimulants, and we'll get to that in a minute. Number 5, start working out. A lot of people that get sober, they hit the gym because they get a healthy high from working out. You can start jogging and get a runner's high. You can switch to healthy things that still give you that adrenaline, because a lot of addicts and alcoholics are adrenaline junkies. They like thrill. I went and started playing racquetball again. I loved racquetball. I started jogging on the treadmill, and I got that endorphin rush that I was missing in my sobriety. And it really helped me not think about drinking, because I was getting really high from just my workouts. And then I would treat myself to a sauna after the workout, and that made me so relaxed. By the time I left the gym after the hard workout and then the sauna, I did not think about drinking at all. I mean, I was happy. I was losing the weight. I was getting strong again, and I felt confident. And it was a true confidence from doing good things in my life. None of this illusion stuff from drinking. Number 4, it's all or nothing. No excuses. You can't drink near beer. You can't go to a bar and hang out with your old friends and drink Dr. Pepper. Okay, I've known people to do that, and it just doesn't work long term. It might work for 3 months to 6 months, but eventually you're going to break down and start drinking again. You have to get away from the bar, and you can't drink near beer. You can't drink some substitute and pretend that you're one of the guys anymore. My last relapse, I actually was drinking Theraflu. Okay, somehow in my insanity, the insanity came back. I had 20 months of sobriety. This is way before I got sober for good, but I drank Theraflu, and it gave me this buzz. So pretty soon I'm drinking 2 packs of Theraflu a day so I could hang out with my old friends. And it was so ridiculous. I was like, this is killing me. This is hurting my liver and my kidneys. Why not just drink? Drinking beer is less dangerous than drinking Theraflu. And then I just started drinking alcohol again. And every time I went back out and drank again, the drinking was worse than ever, because it's a progressive disease. You're not going to outgrow it, even if you're sober for 5 years. I know people that went back out drinking after 16 years of sobriety, and they never returned, and they probably died. So it is life or death. It's all or nothing, guys. You can't just have a drink. You've tried that probably hundreds of times, like I did. I'm going to just have 3 beers tonight. That never worked. Or I'm going to switch to wine. That never worked. Okay? It's all or nothing. You have to hit rock bottom and know that you are done completely. So, number 3 is take accountability. This is the first step in AA. You have to admit to yourself and others that your life has become unmanageable. okay? That alcohol has destroyed your life. Look around. It's not just between you and alcohol. You've hurt your friends, you've hurt your family, you've hurt your jobs, you've hurt your health. You have to take total accountability and realize that you did it to yourself. No one forced you to drink and drive. No one forced you the bottle up to your mouth. This is the first step. You have to take total accountability and say, yes, my life has been destroyed. Okay. Number two, you have to find a sober community. You have to find people that actually don't drink at all. And AA is good for that in your first year. I did not need AA the last time I drank because I hit absolute rock bottom, and I'm kind of a loner anyways. I'm good with isolation, but a lot of people can't handle isolation. So you're going to have to hook up with some sober people. You definitely don't want to get with any, boyfriends or girlfriends. You want to stay alone the first year of sobriety just to really get your head back in the game and do some introspection. You can start journaling. You're going to have a lot of crazy thoughts and emotions. It's going to be a roller coaster, and it's good to get an accountability partner. And probably the safest place to find new friends is either the gym, but probably more like AA, or go online and find a sober community. But you definitely, if you find someone at the gym, they have to be friends. You can't get into a romantic relationship your first year. You really should stay alone and just sit with your feelings and your emotions. They're going to come up. They're going to surface. Some early childhood traumas might come up. You have to just sit with it and cry it out and be angry and journal about it and find a sober accountability partner and just talk, okay? Don't get into any romance. And number one is you got to find a higher power. Okay, you can't do this on your own anymore. You've wrecked your life on your own. You have to find a higher power as you understand them. It could be a light bulb. If you don't believe in God, it could be something else. It could be nature. You could look up to the trees or a river. But I chose Jesus right away because I love Jesus, and I walked away from him for many years, and I finally got saved again. And so my higher power is God. And every single morning I pray to God to make me a better Christian, to make me a better person. It's been 13 years now. I don't have any cravings. I don't even crave the dark side of, I don't listen to dark music anymore. I don't look at bad images. I try to stay away from violence on TV. I don't watch the news. I try to surround myself with healthy, uplifting people, and music, and even my literature has changed. When I was a drunk, I read alcoholic writers, and when I got sober, I switched to uplifting people that could help me improve my life. So that's it, guys. That's the 10 best tips for lasting sobriety. I hope this helps. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and we will talk to you very soon.